Tell them your sponge story.
At the Hyatt, as you may remember, they give you the sponge and they give you a loofah, right? Well, I've had my sponge the whole time, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw it away, and they're gonna give me another sponge.
Okay.
They haven't given me another sponge, so I saw the housekeeper in the hallway on the way out, and I was like, hey, can I get a sponge? And she's like, spracken, whatever she's saying, right? Sparkle, sparkle. And she pulls out like soap, because I was like, sponge, you know? And she's like, pulls up the soap, and I go, no, not that. So she goes back in and she pulls out the same thing, and she's like, this. Now she's got two in her hands, and I'm like, no, sponge. The sponge, you know, squish it, clean yourself, the sponge. And she's like, she goes in and she pulls out 4 of the soaps, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, sponge, right? Sponge, spongy, squish, clean your body. And so she pulls out 8 of them. And I'm like, no. So I pull my phone out and I go to the translator and I find out the word for sponge in German is Schwamm. So I'm like, Schwamm. And she's like, oh! And she just unleashes in German, like now all of a sudden I know how to speak German. Obviously, I don't speak German, but the second I said Schwamm,
it's as if she
was like, oh, you got it now.
She thought like, oh, he picked up his phone and downloaded German to his brain. So now I can talk to him in German.
Yeah. And then as I was like, okay, thank you, she gets on the phone and I could hear her saying Schwamm, and she's talking on the phone, and I think they're like ordering me sponges. I don't know what's going on.
You have like a box of sponges and a room charge.
And I have they're gonna charge me €400 for a box of sponges and 75 bottles of soap.